And those are pretty much talked about in my personal memoir, You're Only as Sick as Your Secrets. And so chapter one talks about my illusions. And that was a catalyst because when I realized that the illusion of what my life had been was really different than what the reality was, that was a catalyst for me to say, hey, you know what? Maybe people are feeling the same thing, going through the same thing. And then I started realizing, as I talked about in chapter two, like there were these little mirrors in the little faces that I taught every day as an elementary school teacher. And that was a catalyst to say, okay, I if I went through this and I'm seeing this in other little faces, this is something that needs to be really looked at and taken care of. In chapter five, the realization, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. And then chapter nine is the reality, like, why didn't I tell? All of these things that I just could not get my head around for a while. And it took a lot of healing. And I thought if I could shortcut people's healing by providing these resources, I'm so happy to do that. I'm honored to do that, actually. And then chapter 11 is unacted upon chances for change, which I'll get into a little bit more, and so big. And it may be because there was no awareness, or it may be that there was awareness, but no awareness around what to do about it. So there's a lot of different factors, and I'll get into that as well. And also, when I realized the repercussions of the abuse on my sense of self, and I'm not alone in this world, and I've seen it with so much of my clients who come in with certain issues. And then, when we get to the core, there was abuse of some sort. And there are so many different types of abuse, but even trauma, when we really see how that impacts our sense of self. And we really can't get to where it is that we want to get to in our lives until we work on that. So lots of reasons why I decided to do this abuse awareness resources line. Quick look here. First of all, as we talked about my book, one of the things that I was so thrilled about was recently my book was reviewed by an online book club, and I received a 4 out of 4, and I was thrilled about that. But I was less thrilled about that and more thrilled about an anonymous comment that was left on the website. And it was this right here. She said, "We see a lot of books around these heavy topics, and most of them turn out to be motivating, but only a few consider showing the practical steps to a healthier and happier life. This book is definitely from the latter category." And right then, my heart sank, because when I wrote this book, I didn't want it to be about me and my trials and my tribulations, and that's it. I wanted it to be healing. I wanted it to show that you can go from point A of trauma to point B where you can thrive. I wanted it to show individuals that even if it's not you that's going through this, you can become aware of all of these different types of strategies.